What's up YouTube, Zeramus555 here, and it's coming to you guys with a deck profile. It is not in Zector's. The wind-up deck profile we're at, I think, 42 likes or something. That's awesome, thank you so much. It was past 30 before the first, like, 12 hours of being up, so that was pretty crazy. Really appreciate that, guys, and keep it up. I will have the Zector profile for you guys soon, though, because of that. It's just yesterday I went to Locals, and there was it's called Battlegrounds. I think it happens once or twice a year. Nothing special, but, I mean, it's just kind of a bigger tournament than the usual Locals. The prizes are pretty good. So, anyways, I wasn't sure what deck I wanted to play. I was really back and forth between Wind-Ups and Samurai. I had a new build of Samurai, completely changed my build, and I didn't have a ton of time to test it, and I started testing on DN a little bit, and I was like, wow, this is actually testing really, really well. And it's pretty bizarre. You guys might be like, this is bad, but it's really good. First of all, it's to my playstyle, and I just want to quickly say one thing. I don't think Asceticism is a very good card. Now, right there, you might be like, oh, I'm not going to watch this video. Just stay with me for a second. Let me explain. The thing with Asceticism is that, one, it just gives you another bad top deck. Two, it's one of those cards that requires it and another card to be good, which I don't like. I just find that inconsistent. And now that Smoke Signal's back at 3, we're literally back to having Samurai how they were before Shien got hit and Smoke Signal down to 1, and you know the deck took a big beating from the ban list. We have 3 Smoke Signal back again, like it's all back to 3. The only thing the deck is missing is obviously just the 2 more Shien. So I was like, well, what can I do to go back to that old style where Samurai were still winning YCSs on a regular basis? Sorry guys, phone's ringing. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to literally drop the Asceticisms. I originally cut it down to 2, and I was only running 1 Elder, and I realized Asceticism is really only good for 2 things. One, Elder's Kagemusha play, which is okay. One, Kagemusha's a bad top, or sorry, Elder's a bad top deck. It doesn't do anything by itself. At least Kagemusha, you know, if you draw it or you top deck Kageki, Kageki's at least 1700 beater. Kagemusha is a, you know, a good effect for protecting Shien, and he's a decent wall. So I was like, I'm just going to cut out the Asceticism, because the only thing other than that I really ever use it for is going Kageki, Kagemusha, Asceticism for Enishi, which is a great play, but Enishi's not as good. He's still good. He's still really, really good. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's not as good this format. So, basically I ended up deciding to run Samurai. I dropped out the Asceticisms, and I went undefeated before the top. People were shocked. I was shocked. I didn't think I was going to do very well. My first round was Heroes. Sadly, it was James, who I test against with all the time, and I 2-0'd him. I knew his deck really well. And then next I played Mermails. I played Norm, which we always play each other. And Norm's a really good player. I beat him 2-1, but we had a really intense match. It was a lot of fun. Even though I hate playing water, it was just like a really good match. And I had an MVP card, which I'll get to pretty quick here. And then I played another Mermail player, and I was losing game 3, and I had the best top deck of the whole day. I'm just gonna say this play really quick. It was nasty. He had Gungnir and a back row. All I had and he like did a Gungnir play and like +4 or something off of it. Still had 2 cards in his hand. It was ridiculous. And all I had in my hand was a Spirit, the 6 Samurai, and an MST. I'm like, how am I going to get out of this? So, top deck, Grandmaster 6 Samurai. MST is backer, summon Spirit, special Grandmaster equip, run over, draw Solemn Judgment, and he just could not come back. So good. But yeah, that was really cool. And then I played Prophecy, which is Brendan, who I test against as well. I was kind of ticked at that because he doesn't know his deck as well as he should. He's getting there, he's learning, but it's still one of those situations where if you're taking it to a major tournament, you should know your deck, because he was making mistakes and trying to use card effects that didn't work. Like he was trying to use Magical Dimension, I think it's called, on like my back row. I was like, dude, it only works on monsters and stuff like that. It was frustrating. So yeah, I went 4-0. I went undefeated before the top cut. Getting a top cut, and sadly I had to play Norm again. I was really looking forward to playing the Zector guy or Brendan again in the top, and sadly I got paired up against Norm again, and he 2-0'd me. He just wrecked me. Game 1 I had the best opening hand I had all day. United, Dojo, Smoke Signal, Monster Reborn. It was perfect, but he OTK'd me before I could do anything, so that was unfortunate. Game 2 I opened good, I had the Fisher, I had a Kizan, I had some good stuff, but he ended up getting Gozen matchup when I drew Gateway and I was trying to go off, and I just couldn't come back and he ran me over. I misplayed though, I probably should have, I summoned the Kageki to get 2 more counters in Gateway so I could search out, and then he activated the Gozen. I should have just set the Kageki in stall because I had the D-Fisher up and all he had was Dragoons. He had Dragoons on the field, so that was unfortunate. Anyways, guys, sorry, I'm going to get to the deck profile here. This is going to be a long deck profile, just because I want to talk about, this is not your typical Samurai build. Before I get started, though, I just want to give a quick shout-out to Bo Tang. His build kind of inspired me. I was like, yes, so that deck is good. You can top without really playing Asceticism. He was playing 1, and he said it was just okay, like he barely even drew it. So, I mean, really, he wasn't even playing it all day, so... yeah, anyways, I ended up getting 3rd place, and I got a pretty decent pulls. I ended up getting a Bestius, so that was pretty good. It's like a $20 card, it was $10 for the tournament, so yeah, it was pretty good. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on to the deck profile. So, starting off, we have, this is kind of crazy, but I'm running 3 Kageki. Like I said, I'm literally going back to how Samurai were when it first came out. It's too good. Like, you just want to open up Kageki Kagemusha. Now that you have 3 Smoke Signal, you open up the Kageki and Smoke Signal, you grab Kagemusha. You open up the Kagemusha and Smoke Signal, you grab Kageki, and it's just so good. And like I said, even if you draw these guys late game, it's not like drawing crappy Elder. Like, you top deck freaking Elder late game, and it does nothing. It's a 400 piece of crap level 3 monster. It does absolutely nothing. You draw it and you're like, this is the worst monster in the deck, why am I running this? And it's only good if you have Asceticism in your hand as well, and I hate that. At least with Kageki, if I draw it and I have a Shien on the board, I can at least summon this, and he's a 1700 beater, so it's really, really good. Next up is 3 Kagemusha. Yeah, those are supers, they're hot. He's staple. Gotta run 3. This is probably the Samurai build I'm playing for the rest of the format. I might make some changes when the... sorry guys, when the new set comes up, but we'll see. 3 Kizan, obviously. Now, I'm running 2 Grandmaster. Most people are just running 1 right now. Like I said, I went literally back to original Samurai when Legendary 6 Samurai is first released. I'm running Spirit as well, but Grandmasters is so good. I never had any time today, or yesterday, that this was a dead draw with 2. You know, just the 1's really, really good. His floating effect's fantastic. Now that Warning's down to 1, like, people never warning this guy because they know most people know his effect. So Bottomless is a lot more prevalent. If they Bottomless this, you're like, alright, I'm just going to add something back from the graveyard, and you end up going +1 off of it. So it's really not a big deal, and then you know you have 1 more left in your deck. So 2 Grandmaster is really, really good. I really liked it. Sadly enough, this guy was probably the worst card in the deck all day, Enishi. I think I got his effect off twice, which was good. But he was really just there as another level 4. He's good with Kizan, and I just, you know, him plus Shien on the board's really, really good. But he ended up just being okay. I didn't really actually summon him a whole lot and win, so it was really just summon Shien, protect it, and just win from there. Hand was really good all day. I really like this. You know, awesome card. Very good. Just gets over big monsters. You can pop multiple things. MVP of the day, Spirit of the 6 Samurai. I love this card. You guys know I've always been a big fan of it. I don't know why people don't run it. It's a fantastic card. This thing won so many games. Like I said, I would have lost against Mermails and I wouldn't have gone 4-0 if... I ended up going 5-1. 5-1 was my record for the day, but I wouldn't have gone or done so well without this card. So it's so good. You get a Spirit and a Safe Zone equipped to Shien. It's retarded. So that's the monsters, guys. 14 monsters. On the spell, obviously 3 Smoke Signal. So good it's back to 3. This deck's so consistent now. The 1 Rhoda. Once again, no Asceticism. I tried out 2. I tried out the 1 like Bo Tang did. I was just like, what is the point of this? You just don't need it. Like, Samurais didn't run it before. Smoke Signal's back to 3. Why do I need it now? You just don't. 3 United. Staple. Now, I was running, the 2 systems I was running, I cut them out for 2 dojos. These were actually really good all day. I really liked them. Because sometimes you get those hands where you open like Kageki Kizan and no Kagemusha or Smoke Signal, and this just adds a little bit of consistency to it to get out the Shien. There's also some cool plays you can do if you open up right. I had one game where I opened this, Kageki Kagemusha Kizan, and I dropped a Shien, Enishi, and a Kizan on the board and like 2 back rows, and I just ended, and it was really good. But I always sided these out game 2 and 3, but they're just really good game 1. Mostly because they just give a higher chance of opening up with Gateway and, you know, another continuous spell. I only, how many times did I open this? I opened it two times yesterday, and I drew into it 2 other times. Sadly, I drew this against Norm. I can see why Bo Tang said he didn't like this, but sadly I drew this against Norm game 2 in the top cut, and you know, if he didn't have the Gozen match, I would have been okay, but sadly he had it, and I wasn't able to go off, so that was unfortunate. But once again, Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 MST, I see a lot of people running like 2 MSTs in here now. I think 1's just fine. I side the other 2, and I would, like, every game I'd usually side out the 2 dojos for 2 more MST. It just, like, worked out really, really well. 1 Storm, I still like this card. I'm running a lot of back rows in my build, but just opening up with it is just too good. And even if you draw it, you know, you're going to be using up your back row, and then, you know, get the late game Storm. It can still be pretty devastating. You can always set it as a bluff, too. It's just, Storm's just a good card still. Book of Moon, this was fantastic today, too. I really like this. It's better than compulsory right now. Most big monsters, you know, basically have low defense, so it lets you run over stuff easily, and it's also really good versus Fire Fist, so I really enjoyed it. It was really good versus actually Prophecy as well. Brendan summoned his Priestess, and I Book of Mooned it, and you couldn't use the effect, obviously. And luckily he didn't have that Lance card. Monster Reborn. I don't run Dark Hole. It's bad in the deck. You do not need it. Since I'm running the 2 Grandmasters, Thunder King doesn't hurt me at all. I just summon like a Kagemusha or a Kageki and then Special Grandmaster, and he has to negate it or it's going to die. Anyways, so... So, 2 Safe Zone. This was the best card all day. This card won me so many friggin' games. It was stupid. And nobody expected it. Like, I was playing Norm in the Swiss, and he did like a... what did he do? He did a Megalo play or something to pitch, and he pitched an infantry to pop my Shien. I safe zoned it, and he's just like, I'm not coming out. He literally just said, I don't think I'm coming out of this. And the next turn, I smoke signal for a Spirit, equipped a Shien, started running over his stuff. He couldn't kill it, and I was just drawing. I had so much advantage, and he just could not come out of it. And situations like that happen all day long. This card is fantastic. It's passive aggressive. If they MST it and they have a face attack position monster, you can chain it. You can use it on your monster to keep it alive, so you can XYZ with it or Synchro next turn. It's just such a good versatile card, and I'm so glad I decided to run it. 2 Fiendish Chain, these were good today. They were good versus the Mermail matchup. They were and they weren't. Sometimes I wish they were Mirror Force, but I mean, they just would pop it anyways, so Fiendish Chain is just, you know, good staple. It was really good all day, I liked it. 2 Bottomless, obviously, really good. This is the one card I may change in the deck. I think everything else was perfect except for this. I really liked this card. It was awesome all day. But sometimes I wished it was like another trap card because it was just getting, you know, blown up. But it just lets you go off. It lets you consistently, if they like, I had one game where my Shien got compulsoried. I ended up just like double edging the Kagemusha and the Kageki and bringing it right back, and that was pretty awesome. Lots of cool combos you can do. You can OTK with this card, and I don't know, I just like it too. I think it's really consistent. This was another fantastic card all day, Magatama. This saved me a lot of times. I would have lost one game if I didn't draw that. And then the Warning Judgment. I drew this quite a bit too, but not a whole lot. Warning's kind of, it's okay. I really don't know why they put it to 1. I can see why, so stun decks aren't as good, but I mean, the format just got faster with it going to 1, so I don't know. I'm not going to show you the guys the side deck, but basically I'm going to say the main cards I sided all day were D-Fishers, just all day long. Macro for Prophecy, that won me games because he'd use his spells and they would banish instead, stuff like that. So, yeah, and I'm just going to show you guys the extra deck for once because I still have it all here put together. So we got 1 Mist Wurm, never brought him out, there for a 9. 1 Scrap Dragon, never brought him out, there for an 8. 1 Landoise, I had one game where I could have brought this guy out. I didn't have any spells in my hand, unfortunately, but there was one game where, against Prophecy, where if this was a Black Rose instead, I probably would have made a good comeback, but it wasn't a huge deal, so stuff happens. Barkion was a fantastic card today. I loved it. This guy won a lot of games. He gets over Megalos. He's 25. He's easy to make, and yeah, they can't use the Bisphere with him up, so really, really good. You get that and a D-Fisher up, they're in a really bad position. Obviously, best card in the deck, Shien, brought this guy out as many games as I could. There was a lot of games I won where I didn't bring him out. You know, sometimes you just don't consistently open with it, but, you know, you are running control decks, so you can just usually, you know, play your opponent out kind of thing. Catastor was another really good card I brought out quite a bit. Good versus, it's okay versus the water match, and really good versus Prophecy. Gets over Priestess, obviously, which is a hard thing for the deck. Shockmaster, this guy won me like 3 games all day. Obviously, you bring him out and you win. He was the only XYZ I think I brought out all day. I think I might have brought out Zenmains once, but that was it. Shadow the Six Samurai. Never actually brought him out. Like I said, didn't really get a whole lot of gateway plays. Really, this deck just focuses more. This isn't really like... I find the Asceticism build is like focuses a lot on XYZs, My build is literally back to, like I said, how Samurais used to be, where it's just summon Shien and protect it, which is, I think, how the deck's supposed to play. I mean, really everything else in your extra deck is supposed to just be there for toolboxing. So, one Excalibur, never brought him out. There were a few times where I could have brought him out, but the opponent would have had, like, excuse me, like 400 life points left and 200 life points left, and I actually did not run Blade Armor Ninja yesterday, and I'm going to be cutting something in my extra deck for Blade Armor Ninja, probably Scrap Dragon, just because there were literally times where I should have won with Blade Armor Ninja if I had it, and I didn't have it. I ended up taking it out for the Black Shit of Corn. Never summoned him. I still won those games, but it was just like I could have finished them earlier, which obviously is the safest thing to do. You want to finish your opponent off as quickly as possible. You don't want him drawn into, the sack. But, he was good. I never summoned him out, but he's just, like, he's too good to have in the extra deck. Papilloperative, same thing. Maestro, you got your switchers, position switchers. Cowboy, a couple times could have brought him out, but I just strayed away from it. And then my only rank 3s is Tempo and Zamains. I think I brought Zamains out once, but like I said, I was playing Water all day, and they don't really XYZ a lot. They just, like, synchro every once in a while and just do Megalo beatdowns. I played one hero player, like I said, and then Prophecy don't really XYZ either, so I really never even used my extra deck. It was just Shien. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry if the deck profile was too long, but I had a lot to talk about. I highly recommend people try out Samurai without Asceticism. I think it's really good. I just think Asceticism, like, that build is a lot faster, which is good. This is a fast game right now, but I think that when you're dead drawing, you're giving yourself more dead draws, such as the Elders, the Asceticisms, and you don't have that protection, that swarming the field with a bunch of monsters, as much as field presence is really important, and, obviously it can get you to win games, I think right now in the format, that's not the best way to go, because there's just too much mass destruction. Water will just be like, pop, 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 just pop it all. Fire Fists are going to pop it, stuff like that. It's just really, I don't know, I just don't think that's how Samurai, like, the Samurai are control with the option to OTK or, swarm the board. But yeah, anyways, guys, give it a whirl, see what you think. If you're interested in the deck list, I'll have it down below as usual. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to think here of what deck profile I can show you guys. Okay, let's get to 40 likes this time. I'm sure we can do that pretty easy. 40 likes, and I will have a surprise deck profile for you guys. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I'll figure something out, but it'll be a surprise deck profile. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Peace.